Welcome, everyone, to the world of chaos, of internet instability. If you'd been here early enough, you could have heard some of the conversation. But I believe that I have the PowerPoint working now. And so, hello, I'm Terry McGill. And Holly, are we on Zoom?
Yeah, we're on Zoom. We're about to go on Facebook right now as soon as I finish filling in the information.
Yes, all right. Well, we'll pause. Well, I'll just make noise for just a little bit. Hello, Cass and Zahir, and let's see who else is here. Sharon and Holly and myself and Anne-Marie and and Ginger. And let me move the chat out of the way. There, Zahir. Yes, small group. I'm surprised. Money usually brings people in. So can't tell for sure. Zoom Workplace. So Holly, if you'll let me know when we do manage to get onto Facebook, if we can. There we go. It's being sent to one or more apps. So welcome again. And Sharon, I didn't say hello, Sharon. So welcome all. And for those of you who are on Facebook, I can't see who you are and do everything else that I'm trying to juggle. So welcome. Today is about money mindsets. And I have a special treat for you. But I won't spring it yet. So let me do this. I invite you to close your eyes. I have to keep mine open, but if you close your eyes, you can use body power, one of Dr. and Master Ji Gong Shaw's original 4 power techniques. Mind power is to visualize light. So I invite you to visualize light in the center of your chest. You can call it the heart chakra, the message center, the center of your being, your soul. They're all right. And there's more. But just imagine, visualize, wonder what it would be like if you could see light or feel light. Notice if you're feeling any kind of vibration. I just noticed that I am, which is really surprising. So that's 2. So we've got the hands. So body power. If you put one hand on the center of your chest and the other one just below the navel, palms facing the body, it can be on your navel or just below the navel. That lower hand, that one connects us with the energy centers in our lower abdomen. There are 10 major energy centers. 6 of them are in the lower abdomen, from the navel on down. Just amazing. Tells you where we need to have our awareness. And then the message center itself, or heart chakra, imagine light there. And then for Master Shah calls it the say hello or say hello greeting. So we can say, dear me, all of me, whatever it is that we have some sense of, but it's only partially complete. In fact, probably not even 1%, because we cannot perceive what's in our subconscious, but we can work with it. And I will lead you in that. But first, this is about transforming money, or becoming aware of and then transforming money mindsets. Master Shah, Dr. and Master Ji Gong Shah, his latest teachings are that 10% our consciousness creates or manages 10% of our life. It's like, well, wait a minute, what about the other 90%? That's in our subconscious. It's invisible, but we can feel the effects, and there are ways to manage it. So one of the ways is to send a message. Now, what does that mean? We want to know clearly in our own mind what we want. So we might say, "Dear my mind, observe how my body breathes itself. Don't change anything, just observe. Thank you so much." On every inhale. And on every exhale, turn off fully and completely for the entire exhale. Rest and recharge. Thank you so much. And so every inhale, imagine that your mind is going, "Ooh, what's the body doing? What's vibrating? That's not breathing, that's something else." And so the mind is, and then on the exhale, "Dear my mind, I love you," turn off fully and completely for the entire exhale. And the mind goes, "Oops. Right, I'm supposed to rest and recharge." And so then it turns itself off. Now you may wonder, but wait a minute, I'm still aware. We're not our mind. There's different terms and different traditions. It's called the observer, the witness, the higher self, the original soul. What is it that is aware? And so from this aspect, this perspective, we can send a message to all the parts of ourself, 100%. Dear, all the Shen, Qi, Jing of my being. Shen is soul, heart, mind. Qi is energy. Jing is matter. And those are the 5 levels of creation. The universal law of Shen, Qi, Jing. Now, every one of those 5, soul or spirit or information, heart, mind, energy, matter, all 5 of those have both positive, plus sign, or negative, minus sign, states. And we have positive and negative information on all 5 of those levels. And so what we want to do is transform the negative information. What can do that? Well, we can use chanting, sound, mantras, affirmations. Affirmations are not as powerful as I used to think because they're invented by the mind. The mind says, that sounds good. I think I'll use that. More powerful are what the great masters have brought to us, like Om. I have no idea how many thousand years that sound has been around. And Hu. There are 2 different religions or traditions, spiritual traditions, that use Hu. In one of the Sufi orders in the West, the teacher that I studied with back in the 70s, there's an Islamic practice. It's La ilaha illallah. Hu is the melding with source, in that tradition with Allah, God, in the Islamic tradition. But there's another tradition, and I can't remember the name of it, but their term, the universal sound, is Hu, H-U. That's English, H-U. We can also use our words and send a message to all the parts of ourselves. So we can say, "Dear all of me, That's about as simple as I can make it. Dear all of me, you can say, dear the Shen Shi Jing of my entire being, soul, heart, mind, energy, matter. That's correct also. There's so many traditions and so many steps, and they're all partially correct. And so we can use them. Our intention is stronger than the words we use or the concepts. So let me double check something here. I want to make sure I can bring it up right. Good. So we can say to our higher self, our subconscious, all of ourselves, dear all of me, dear heaven, by whatever terms we want to use, divine, Tao, source, universal consciousness, universal intelligence, dear all the heavens committees. There's so many different terms as people have, and they can be very advanced sages, wizards. Yeah. Ekankar, thank you. Yes, Jonathan, that's what I was trying to remember. Reminds me, I learned a mantra decades ago. Ekankar Satanam Siriwa Guru. That may not be Ekankar though, or it may be a combination of two because it's too many decades back. But let's stay with the sending a message to whatever it is that we partially know. I would like to transform my money mindsets that are not in alignment, that are not connected, that are not in harmony with my higher self, with my 10% of my consciousness that wants to have resources so that I can better serve. There's a person here in Portland, I live in Portland, Oregon. There's a person here who has had somewhere around 102 operations in her life. It's, I don't know how anybody could live through 100 operations. She just had her, I think it's her left leg partially amputated because she had a knee replacement and then it developed an infection inside. So I'm going to go over Monday to the facility she's at and take a calligraphy with her. So dear all, let's go back to the instructions, the desire, our wishes that we're giving to all that is. Dear the Tao, please transform the negative information at the soul or spirit or information level. Please transform all the negative information at that level to positive information. At the heart level, please transform all of the negative information in me to positive information. At the mind level, please transform all of the negative information in my mind to positive information related to money mindsets. All of these money mindsets, that's the focus for tonight. The chi level, the energy, please transform all of the negative information about money mindsets to positive information. And at the matter level, the physical body, the money, the physical aspects of money, my bank account, my credit cards, my debit cards, please transform all of the negative information to positive information. Thank you so much. And then let me bring up a PowerPoint that if I can make it work again. Okay, now let's see if it'll share. There it is. Okay. So how do we shift our money mindsets? There's three key practices. But before we went into them, what I did was lead you in connecting. Now, what is connection? Now, we hear words, but most of the time we don't have a common understanding. We all have an idea. Well, I think I know what he means when he says connect. It's feel my feet. Well, that's kind of. So before every practice, we want to remove our attention from the outside world, the external world. And why do we close our eyes? When we have our eyes open, we have what the Taoist Dr. and Master Zhigong Sha brought us, this awareness. All of our energy, or a lot of it, is going out. There's my ring light, which is just too bright. There's 2 calligraphies on the wall. There's 3 calligraphy cards there. There's 2 more calligraphies over there, and there's one behind me. And then there's all the other stuff. Pieces of paper, notes that I've written, my cell phone. And I can hear my voice going gravelly. So there's also in my eye view, there's my bottle of Rocky Mountain throat syrup. This is not an endorsement, but I think it's the best thing I've found for a throat coating. So I invite you to chant your favorite mantra out loud or silently, but please stay muted, for 30 seconds. No, it hasn't been 30 seconds yet. But if you open your eyes, I've put up another, I'm going to move it too because it'll be more readable. There. So we're going to use the Tao Calligraphy Light Wall. Now, wait a minute, we're going to do what? So I like to be transparent. So what's the Tao Calligraphy Light Wall? Well, Tao is source or creator, and Tao calligraphy is transformative art. You've seen calligraphy. They're all around. Tao calligraphy especially, it evolved from the unique Ibizi one-stroke writing that Dr. Lee, she must have been 98 or 100 or 101, and she reached Master Sha some way, and she says, I have a physical issue. Can you help? And so he went over to her apartment. He walked in and he went, wow, because there were these 6 and 8 feet sheets of paper on her walls all around. And they had calligraphy like he had never seen, but he felt it. And he said, what? What are those? And she says, Ibizi. I would like to learn that. She says, if you heal me, I'll teach you. Oh, wouldn't that motivate you? So Tao Calligraphy Light Wall, the Tao, the 10 greatest qualities of Tao are greatest love, greatest forgiveness, greatest compassion, greatest light, greatest humility. Now, this is English words. You may know them as Da Ai, Da Quan Shu, Da Sabe, Da Guangming, Da Qianbei, Da Hexie, Da Jia Cheng Cheng, Da Ganen, Da Fu Wu, Da Yuan Man. But most folks don't really know what Mandarin is, or what, how do I interpret that? Da Ai is greatest love. Da Quan Shu, greatest forgiveness. Da Sabe, greatest compassion. Da Guangming, greatest light. Da Qianbei, greatest humility. Da Hexie, greatest harmony. Da Quan Shu, greatest flourishing. I have to take a breath here. Let's see, Da Chen, Da Chong Chong, Da Gan En, greatest gratitude. and then Da Fu Wu, greatest service, and Da Yuanman, greatest enlightenment. So these are the 10 greatest attributes or qualities of Tao, source, of nature, of everything in the universe. The 10 that are greatest. So what's a Tao Calligraphy Light Wall? It's a Tao calligraphy, a special Tao calligraphy for each of those 10 qualities. I'll show you in just a bit. I'll show you something that you haven't seen because there's only 108 at the moment Tao Calligraphy Light Wall practitioners in the world. And I'm just grateful and humbled that I'm one of them. It's just amazes me that that could happen. There we go. I lost my slides. Here we go. So Tao Calligraphy Light Wall. Now, you might guess the founder is Dr. and Master Jigong Sha, world-renowned healer, author of at least 31 books, and there's several more that are, one is almost ready to come from the printer, I heard the other day. 11 of the books that he's published already they've reached #1 New York Times bestseller. Like, wow. He's also a world-renowned healer. That's already in print. He's a philanthropist. When there was a really big hurricane down in the Gulf of Mexico, one of the islands there, I forget which one, but he donated like $100,000. And he called a bunch of his students to contribute. He's a philanthropist. He's the founder of the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation. You may know, the most of you here, I'll bet, know the Love, Peace, Harmony song. Lula, Lula, Lee, as some people call it, baby talk, that part. But it's then been interpreted and reinterpreted into over 70 languages. That's stunning to me. So that's Dr. Master Jigong Sha. Tonight, we're going to focus on one of his 7 Tao technologies. At the moment, I'm only aware of 7, but Tao calligraphy is one of those. So how does that relate to our money mindsets? Well, whatever we have as money, however much we have or don't have, or it may not be money, but it be something of value. It reflects our subconscious beliefs, mindsets, and habits. And remember that everything has a positive and a negative. So our money or a lack of it reflects that. So the first practice is transforming negative. That's the whole night. This is all about transforming. Remember the message that we created and we sent everywhere. To 10% consciousness came up with that, but 90% in our unconscious also heard our message. But we don't have the power to change our subconscious very easily, or very effectively, or very much. So we can transform it with Tao calligraphy. So let me bring up this. Now, I have no idea why the background came up as gray, because PowerPoint changed how it does stuff, and yes. Oh, and please do not copy these. As a Tao Calligraphy Light Wall practitioner, I have 10 of these calligraphies. This is Da-I, greatest love. Love melts all blockages, and we want it to do that. With the blockages, that's our practice #1. And I'll teach you the practice in a minute. But first, I want you to know that you can purchase this calligraphy from the store on mastershaw.com, right? You can go in there, you can purchase these. They're large. I think they're 22 by 28 inches, except I discovered last night at a presentation when I put 2 of them side by side on stands, there was a slight size difference. So they're approximately 22 by 28 inches, large, come framed. When one has gone through the training and has all 10 and passes all of the things you need to know with your mind, and then Master Shah does a reading and says, okay, yes, then he certifies you and he sends a transmission that empowers us to turn on not what you see, which comes, the framed ones that everybody can buy, comes at third dimension level. But Tao calligraphy practitioners have the ability to, I think it was almost literally flipping a switch, to turn on, I have not done it yet, to turn on fourth dimension. Third dimension has the power to transform 60% of humanity. Now, if there's 8.3 billion, let's round it off just to 8, and 60% would mean 6 times 8 is 48. That would be 4.8 billion people to heal them, to transform their lives. And here's the good news is 4.8 billion people could be transformed, but it's not a one-time shot. I had a woman 7 weeks ago now, I think it is, and she'd been in one car accident, and she had 2 crushed vertebrae for 30 years. She had huge pain, and she'd become a healer, and she'd gotten her pain levels down from an 8 down to most days just a 4, some days more. She was a demonstration 7 weeks ago or so in a live event that I do every Thursday night here in Portland, Oregon. And in 12 to 15 minutes, I got that the blessing was over. And it's not a permanent gift. It's a one-time blessing. And I says, okay, so this is complete. Would you mind getting up and walking over toward the door and then coming back? She's walking back and she goes, I feel like I've just had a spiritual margarita. I've never heard that one before. And the next time I saw her, I said, how's your back pain? Because with something that's 30 years chronic crushed vertebrae, it would take 7 to 10, maybe more blessings. She said, she checked. She went, I'm fine, no pain, 0. And I was just in wonder. It's like, wow, that's unique. So most of the time it takes more than one. So what I would like for you to do now, get my cursor off the screen so I don't distract you. What I would like for you to do now is say hello. So this is connection. This is another way to connect. We want to connect. We want to say hello to Da'ai, greatest love, calligraphy. Now you can do it any way you want to. Very simple is fine. Dear the Da'ai calligraphy, Da is greatest, not really nice, not big, not huge, not great, but greatest, nothing greater. This is Tao. That's the first part. It looks like kind of like an L up here. And then there's a little connecting line, which is the difference between EBZ, one stroke writing, and this little connecting line here joins it to I, love. And so then it becomes unity, oneness. They've been called oneness calligraphy. So dear Da'ai, greatest love calligraphy, could you transform the negative information at the soul level, the heart level, the mind level and the energy and matter level of me? So that's all of your Shen Qi Jing. Would you do that, please? Thank you so much. So that's saying hello. That's one way to connect. But let's go deeper. I invite you now, because this is going to stay there. this calligraphy, we can close our eyes and imagine light in the message center, the center of our chest, our heart chakra, our heart. Different words, same place. Then, so that's, oh, then we want to have sound. So what we say is what we become. Now, part of sound power, we've done it. We've asked, we've connected. So all of these are different ways to connect. We can also use body power differently. We can trace, putting all of our fingers and our thumb together and trace, or we can hold our hands out to the calligraphy and experience these calligraphies are called a portal to Tao, to source. And so imagine if you're holding your hands out that, or even if you're not, that there's this invisible love and light that's in these black ink lines on the paper. That's really white paper, just looks gray here. And it's coming to us. And what's it doing? It does what the Tao knows is appropriate for our request. And incidentally, those of us that are Tao Calligraphy Light Wall practitioners, these calligraphies obey us. I don't even like to think of the word obey but I can. We are empowered, authorized to turn them on and to tell them what to do and only what to do. So this will be a one-time blessing. And whether you watch it now or whether you're watching the recording, you can ask all you want. You'll receive a blessing one time, and it will be only for melting the blockages relating to our money mindsets. So if you ask for, well, you know, my big toe on my left foot hurts, talk to your big toe, tell it this will not send a blessing to anything except transforming our money mindsets. And it'll do whatever the Tao calligraphy, Tao source coming through it, knows is appropriate. All right. So now I'm going to turn on fourth level, fourth dimension. But first, we're going to do a breathing practice once I turn it on. And so I'll count, inhaling, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll give you different phrases to say or think on the exhale. We'll start with Da I. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling Da I. And yes, I did turn it on. So you're receiving fourth dimension, love and light. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da I. One more time. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da I. Now we're going to do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. On the exhale, we will chant greatest love out loud. You can sing it if you want to. You can do it silently. You can do it out loud. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling greatest love. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling greatest love. Inhaling again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greatest love. So we'll do 3 more inhale, exhales, and on the exhale, we will, if you want to, I'm going to, and we'll use the term love melts all blockages. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Love melts all blockages. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Love melts all blockages. Last time, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Love melts all blockages. Now we're going to do 3 more inhales and exhales, and we'll use the phrase on the exhale, Da-I, light shower. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da-I, light shower. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da-I, light shower. Last time, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da-I, light shower. Click. I've just turned off fourth dimension, but let's say thank you. Dear the Da-I, Tao Calligraphy Light Wall calligraphy, so very grateful for these blessings. Thank you so much. So that's practice number 1. That's transforming the negative messages that we have to positive using love. Practice number 2, we will transform the negative messages with a different frequency, transforming negative to positive with forgiveness. And you might know this will be Da Quan Shu. Da Quan Shu is greatest forgiveness calligraphy. Right now, it's 3rd dimension level. So we're going to do just about the same thing. So you know the format. On the exhale, I'll give you the sounds to do on the exhale. And we'll do 5 counts in, 5 counts out. I'll do the counting so you don't have to. We'll use Da Quan Shu for the first 3. Are you ready? Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling Da Quan Shu. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Quan Shu. One more time on the exhale with Da Quan Shu. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Quan Shu. And for the next 3 inhale exhales, we'll use greatest forgiveness on the exhale. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greatest forgiveness. And if you're wondering, it is turned on at the 4th dimension level. I just didn't say it out loud until now. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greatest forgiveness. Greatest forgiveness. And one more time with greatest forgiveness. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greatest forgiveness. And now on the exhale, this is a longer phrase, brings inner joy and inner peace. Inhaling silently, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling brings inner joy and inner peace. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brings inner joy and inner peace. One more. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brings inner joy and inner peace. Incidentally, if my breathing in and out doesn't fit for you, do what is comfortable for you. Don't force yourself to do something that's uncomfortable, because it works against the process. So for the next 3 exhales, after we inhale, it's really difficult to speak on the inhale, isn't it? I thought of that a couple of years ago. There's a spiritual practice where they teach you to make a sound on the inhale. but it doesn't sound like, well, it's not English. Yeah. So what we will do now is we will use on the exhale, Da Quan Shu light shower. Now, you know, we're in the shower, it washes the outside of our body and our hair. If we take our car through a car wash, or if we scrub it down with a brush or a sponge, that washes the outside of the car. You might wash the inside. This is an internal light shower. It's transforming 10% consciousness, 90% the unconscious. So this will be Da Quan Shu light shower. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Quan Shu light shower. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Quan Shu light shower. One more time. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Quan Shu light shower. And I think of it, I just switched off the fourth dimension. So it's still third dimension. But let's say thank you to all levels of it. Dear Da Quan Shu, Tao Calligraphy Light Wall, calligraphy of greatest forgiveness. Thank you so much. Cannot thank you enough. The practice number 3, we will transform those same negative messages with a different frequency. We will transform negative to positive with service. And with service, we use Da Fu Wu, Mandarin. In English, it means greatest service. And we will use the same format, inhaling for 5 counts, exhaling, and I'll lead you in those. First, we will use Da Fu Wu, and let me turn. It's really interesting because I just really think like I'm flipping a switch with my thumb. So fourth dimension is now empowered. We are in a fourth dimension field of greatest service. But we'll chant Da Fu Wu first 3 times. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Fu Wu. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Fu. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da Fu. Now for the next set of 3 in and out breaths, we'll use greatest service. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greatest service. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, greatest service. And one more time. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Greatest service. The next set of 3, we'll exhale and say the purpose of life, or think it. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The purpose of life. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The purpose of life. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The purpose of life. And click, fourth dimension power is turned off. So it's third dimension. But again, let's say thank you. Dear the Tao Calligraphy Light Wall, calligraphy Da Fu Wu, greatest service. Thank you so much for your blessings. Just, it's amazing that we can receive these. Now, you may not live in an area, because there's only 108 of us at this point that has received the certification and the empowerment to have them and to use them. And many of them are in doctors or practitioners' offices, and are just not available to the public. So I do this, my way of reaching out, allowing them to serve you around the world, is to offer them this way. Remember, it's a one-time only blessing, and it's relatively short. When I'm doing them in the in-person groups, it's sitting in this field or one of these fields for an hour. And even 10, 12 or 15 minutes was enough to transform that one person's to the pain from the two crushed vertebrae. And there have been other that my mind just goes, wow, I'm not going to call it a miracle. They do, but yeah. So you may be going, well, wait a minute. I can't get to Portland, Oregon, and I don't know where those other 107 are. So what about me? Well, I didn't forget you. Master Shah didn't forget you either. So some of your resources is Master Shah. I don't know how many, used to be 1,750 YouTube videos. He's added some, but some have been taken off also. So just put into your browser, YouTube, Master Shah, financial blessing. That'll take you to a YouTube page. Over on the right-hand side, as you scroll down, you will see many videos, mostly of his, but there will also be other ones mixed in. YouTube does that. So with this one, this is a financial blessing. I just found it today. It wasn't the one I was looking for. This one, like some of the YouTube videos, starts with a minute or a minute and a half ad. So even though you don't see Master Shah when you open this, and Holly, if you could put this link, we'll send it out. Please put it into the chat, yeah. And then we'll send it out in the email with the recording. So on this one, on all the ones that have an ad, go ahead and click the arrow, get it started. And then after about 5 seconds, it'll say skip ad over on the right-hand side, and I immediately click skip. And then there'll be Master Shah. I forget how many minutes long this one is. There are a bunch still up there. Additionally, there are books. If you're in the United States, it isn't financially, it's too expensive to ship the books outside of the United States. But I have a supply of The Greatest Love, the little white book, Greatest Love, and the other one, Greatest Forgiveness. If you are in the United States, I will send you one copy of each for $7. The books are free. The thing that it goes in, the envelope and the shipping, forget about the gas. I can cover that. But if you're in the United States, be happy to give you those 2 books. And so if you look down at the Portland, Oregon in-person Thursday evenings, if you can come to Portland. However, for the books or for questions you might have, my email address, you may notice that that's not a normal email address. That's because there are things called bots, and they cruise the web, and they will pick up. If I had that little A with a circle around it there, they would pick my email address and sell it. And I would start getting, I know I've been there, a whole bunch of information, emails that I have no interest in. So you're going to have to, if you want to contact me, you know what @ means. You know how to spell it. So it's my name at comcast.net. And in the subject line, just type what you want. You can say both books, and I'll know what you mean. You'll also need to give me a mailing address. And again, this is only if you're in the United States. And then I'll send you an invoice, PayPal invoice. And if you don't have PayPal, we'll figure something out. Because I can't, I'm not rich, so I can't mail them free. The books are free, but the shipping will not be. So that is what I have now on PowerPoint. And what I would like to do is open up to questions that anyone may have. And so you can type them in the chat room. And one of the people in the background who make it possible for me to talk and for you to have your comments read. Sharon or Holly, Paula may be here. I can't tell. They'll read. If you'd like to unmute, please do. Questions, comments? Did you like it? Have you experienced a Tao Calligraphy Light Wall blessing before? This was 3 of them. Incidentally, those are framed calligraphies, but I wanted the image to be as big as possible. So what do they call it? I trimmed them and played around with it. I don't know what happened to the white paper, it turned gray. Jonathan, hello.
Hello everyone. Good day or good evening. Jonathan here from Trinidad. I must say, that I really pulsate my message center during that blessing. I felt tightness there, but yet still there was pulsating. And with the dark one too, there was some energy I felt in the head. Ironically, I analyzed it, it's only after I came to the what message center is that one shoe is brain.
Yes.
I never even had that thought in my mind. It just came to me at that time. And for the Dafu, there was subtle energy to the truth, but it wasn't as strong as the I that one shoe. So that indicates I definitely have some work to do with service. So I just wanted to share that. That was nice. And yeah, I've been through some lessons before, well, in the workshop. So yeah, so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your unconditional service, Mr. Terry.
You're welcome. Thank you. So one thing I want to add to this evening's presentation is Jonathan mentioned that he felt Da-I in the message center of the heart chakra. There are these 10 greatest qualities of Tao. There's an area of the body where they resonate most strongly. Da Quan Shu in the brain. Da Fu Wu, greatest service, in the throat. So there's 10 different areas. One of my favorite, well, I don't know, I should say favorite. I just have some great experiences because I use Da Chong Sheng, greatest flourishing, a lot. For those of you know what the lower Dantian is, that's the area where Da Chong Sheng resonates. It's its point of greatest resonance. And so the lower Dantian boosts energy, stamina, vitality, immunity, finances, burns fat. I used that for quite a while. And I'm back wearing size 32 pant again. It's been about 20 years since I was able to do that. I was so delighted. I have this pair of white jeans. Simply couldn't button them for 20 years. Been wearing them lately. Yeah. So let's see. There's some message over here now. There's the Divine Soul Song for Divine Financial Blessings. Thank you, Holly. And then more about Tao Calligraphy there. Thank you again, Holly. And then Holly says, thank you, Terry, feeling so much lighter and calmer after the practice. The fourth dimension light wall, I am just in wonder, in awe at what happens. It's just like, I don't do it. I turn a switch. And Master Sha's teachings, one of his teachings is that a human being, we can't have the power that a calligraphy does because we have negative information. But when he puts it onto a piece of paper, doesn't have negative mindsets, negative beliefs, negative memories, does ego, doesn't have all that junk that we do. But we can transform. So if you're in the United States and you don't have both of those little white books, Greatest Love and Greatest Forgiveness, if you're not familiar with them, the neat thing about them is each one of them has a Master Shah calligraphy on glossy white paper, gold. Like, yeah. So, and Shirley is saying, thank you, gain deeper understanding and insights. Aha, bingo. I'm glad you came. Thank you for sharing. So, countdown for any other questions or comments, and then we'll close. Anyone else? Going. We have to wait till next time then. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Holly. I don't know if Paula is here tonight. And Anne-Marie, glad you're here. And Jonathan, everybody that's here. So thank you so much. And I will see you next month. I like to do these once a month. And who knows what the topic will be next month. So until, and do keep watching the Signal group and the WhatsApp group, because there are other presenters. And I always like to jump on to see what they do, what they're offering. Everybody has wisdom. Yeah. So, aloha, ciao, sayonara, namaste, namaskaram, adios.
Love you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Aloha.